Let's start with Angel Reese walking the runway at a Victoria's Secret model showcase fashion show. Angel Reese has finally found her calling. Let's play the clip. Look at Angel. Look at, I mean, look at Angel. There's no hate here from me. That is the best version of Angel Reese I think we've ever seen. Now, that's not saying a whole lot because normally Angel Reese is running her mouth or missing layups. Normally she's saying things that I disagree with, and she's showing her feminist angry side, her racial idolatry side, her trolling of Caitlin Clark. So she's either running her mouth or she's on the basketball court playing a bad brand of basketball, missing layups. She has found her calling. She is an OnlyFans model, and this is a step towards being an OnlyFans model. This is Angel Reese is basketball Barbie, and soon she'll be OnlyFans Barbie once she gets done using basketball to promote her real passion. She wants to be a sex symbol, and she wants to pretend like she has some intellectual integrity, some intellectual brilliance. She doesn't. Angel Reese is a attractive 6'3" woman. Put enough makeup on her, and she gets real attractive. And certainly her body is strong. And I know you, Jason, you're a Christian. You shouldn't be talking about this. This is what Angel Reese wants me to talk about. And so I'm going to talk about it and put her in the proper category. She's not some elite athlete. She's just not. And again, I know, what do you mean? Compared to most girls? Well, compared to most girls aren't elite athletes either. Even the ones playing in the WNBA. Most of them, unlike Angel Reese, many of these athletes in the WNBA, they can't walk the runway at a Victoria's Secret. They can't. Forget that standard. Most of them, they're tatted up, they're wearing weaves, they're unattractive, and they're angry. And because attractiveness comes from the inside, it comes from the spirit inside of you. And they've been so submerged in anger and bitterness and hostility that they've denied or limited their beauty. But trust me when I say this, and everybody knows, this is what Angel Reese really wants to do. She has very little interest in basketball. What Angel Reese wants to do is use basketball to promote herself as a sex symbol. And you know what? I think it's going to work. I think this thing with Victoria's Secrets, Angel Reese will start appearing in movies, potentially end up in TV shows, but she is never going to be an elite basketball player. And I understand that's like mind-blowing opinion. Oh, Whitlock's just saying things he doesn't believe. She was an All-American in college. So what? So what? A lot of these female basketball players overall, even some of the ones that are considered, they're not elite. They're frustrated, overly masculine, wannabe men, play a very boring style of basketball, and most of them, just like many athletes in professional football or whatever, they're doing this because, hey, I'm good at it. I'm tall. I hit the genetics lottery, and I got this height and athleticism, and so I might as well use it. But Angel Reese is letting you know, this is what I really want to do. I want to be a sex symbol. I want to use my sexuality to make myself famous and rich. And hats off to Angel Reese. Basketball Barbie, I salute you. You finally found your lane. Next time we'll talk about you will probably be when you open your OnlyFans account. Troy Aikman versus Caleb Williams. Troy Aikman called the Monday Night Football game this weekend, and somehow social media, people in the Chicago Tribune, legitimate journalists, everybody has reached the conclusion that Troy Aikman spoke disparagingly of Caleb Williams and trolled him during the game and was disrespectful and he did something out of bounds. And then so yesterday, Caleb Williams talked at a press conference and acknowledged that he stood up Troy Aikman for a pregame interview, that he was in the building, Troy was waiting on him in the building, and eventually Troy waited enough and left, and Caleb says that, I tried to call him afterwards, but, he didn't answer, didn't get a hold of him. And so everybody's put two and two together. Oh, Caleb Williams stiffed Troy Aikman, and that's why Troy Aikman was so brutal on Caleb Williams during that game. I want to start by playing Caleb Williams at the press conference yesterday with his kind of disjointed unpacking of what allegedly transpired between he and Troy Aikman. Play the clip.
Did you meet with Troy last week leading up to the game?
I did not.
Stuff, or?
I did not. I didn't get to meet with him. Tried to meet with him, and then reached out and tried to meet, and that didn't happen. And so, moved on from it. Went and played the game and came out 3-2.
Why did you not meet with him?
I was here late and timings didn't meet up, lifting or whatever the case may have been, and then tried to call him after the game or not after the game, after the day, that day that I was supposed to meet with him, and it didn't get through.
I don't believe that's how it happened. I believe he intentionally didn't want to meet with Troy face to face because Troy, I think in a previous game this year or last year, said something that upset and bothered Caleb Williams, who is extra sensitive. And so he wanted to stiff Troy Aikman, didn't want to meet with him face-to-face. His agent or the head coach, Ben Johnson, like, hey, man, that's a mistake. Call the guy. You can't do that. Hey, man, you're messing up here. This isn't the way to handle that. And so he probably called Troy Aikman at night. Troy was irritated, maybe out to dinner or whatever, didn't call him back. But I think Caleb Williams mishandled his responsibility, and I've seen people online, why does a quarterback got to meet with Troy Aikman? But hey, man, it's a television show. And they have these interviews so that the actors that they've paid to call the game, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, have inside information that they can share with the audience and the broadcast. It's a television show. You have to have these meetings. It's part of the reason why these quarterbacks get paid $50 and $60 million, because it's a television show. Last thing I'll say here. I heard this criticism and heard this controversy and looked at the stories that were saying, yeah, Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams respond to Aikman's criticism. And then I would go read the story, and they would never tell me what Aikman's criticism was. And that made me say, well, what are they hiding here? So I rewatched the football game. That's what kind of a nut job I am. Troy Aikman did not criticize Caleb Williams. I rewatched the game late last night and intentionally looking for what did Troy Aikman say out of bounds. And it comes down to Troy Aikman on one of their touchdown passes to the DeAndre Swift. It was a little swing pass that he took to the house, 50-some-odd yards. Troy Aikman talked about they got lucky because a slot receiver unintentionally caused two Bears defensive backs to collide into each other. And somehow this is some kind of great criticism of Caleb Williams. Anyway, I'm not a Caleb Williams fan. I don't like the way Caleb Williams or the media have handled this.